Donald Trump making more headlines, but he already did last night. He very nearly upstaged his own vice president. He released a new video last night, and in it he talked about the experimental treatment he's receiving. He calls it a cure and says getting the coronavirus has been a blessing.
Hi, perhaps you recognize me. It's your favorite president, and I'm standing in front of the Oval Office at the White House, which is always an exciting place to be. I got back a day ago from Walter Reed Medical Center. I spent 4 days there and didn't have to, but I spent 4 days there, and I went in, I wasn't feeling so hot, and within a very short period of time they gave me Regeneron. It's called Regeneron, and other things too, but I think this was the key. But they gave me Regeneron, and it was like unbelievable. And now they call them therapeutic, but to me it wasn't therapeutic, it just made me better. Okay, I call that a cure. I want everybody to be given the same treatment as your president, because I feel great. I feel like perfect. So I think this was a blessing from God that I caught it. This was a blessing in disguise.
Donald Trump just outside the West Wing. What he does not say is that he's back in the Oval Office despite being contagious with the coronavirus. He just said in that Fox Business interview that he is not contagious. But again, the timeline for the president's illness remains unclear. So far, he's sending out video messages since his return from hospital, but has not made any public appearances and is taking no questions from reporters. But yes, we have this interview to the Fox Business channel this morning where there's lots of breaking news. He will not accept a virtual debate and will not do it. His chief of staff, Mark Meadows, still refusing to say when Trump last tested negative. Again, key to tracing potentially when and how he was infected. Infectious disease specialist Dr. Michael Gardam, we spoke to him from Toronto just in the last hour. That Regeneron, the experimental antibody that Trump is touting, he says we should not view it as any sort of cure.
The treatment he got was a monoclonal antibody, which doesn't even have FDA approval yet, so it's still very experimental. The only information we have about that particular treatment comes from a press release from the company. We don't even have any scientific literature for it. And essentially what it does is by giving people the antibody, it is basically binding the virus and then decreasing the viral load within the person. It's not a cure. It's just meant to kind of sweep away some of the virus so that people get less sick. So like pretty much everything he said over the last 4 years, I wouldn't believe that either.
That is infectious disease specialist Dr. Michael Gardam, as we spoke last hour from Toronto. And a footnote to that, Regeneron is now asking for emergency approval, asking the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, for emergency approval to market its drug to Americans. The stock is shooting up since that video last night. CNN is reporting this morning public filings from 2017 show the president held stock in the company, but there is no information from this year.